Hey everybody, welcome to the Luke Show. I'm here again with our soccer experts Ryan and Tim. We're reacting to the World Cup semis. I guess we'll start with Argentina and England. Tim, we'll start with you, man. What your initial reaction to the game?
Messi magic. Messi magic. He's done it again. He's done it again. I mean, like not even an incredible performance from him or Argentina altogether, but somehow, some way, you look at the end of the game and he's always on the score sheet, whether he's scoring or assisting. And like once again, two assists today. The second one, especially glorious. I mean, everybody always talks about how he's like so lefty dominant, and then today he busts out multiple crosses with his right foot. That peach of a ball. I mean, you couldn't place it better for Lautaro to finish right in front of net right there for them to take lead. But altogether, Messi magic, and then I think that there was some mismanagement by Tommy Tuchel, England's manager, towards the end of the game and the second half. I think that they took too defensive of an approach too early. They ended up going to a five back in like the 60th minute or so. And in games of this magnitude, I mean, it's you can't just sit back and absorb pressure like this, especially against the world champions, especially against a god who can just pull stuff out of a hat whenever he wants. So I think that they sat back too early. They just kept their defensive line just kept shifting back and back and back, and like by the time Enzo equalized, that was like his like fourth shot from outside the box. It was like he was able to just tee off. Um, and then the other thing that changing the five back, it ended up taking away England's wingers. And what that, because Thomas Tuchel, what he said was that he wanted to put five in the back there to close up the gaps inside. But what that ended up doing is opening up the wings since we ended up taking Anthony Gordon off. Morgan Rogers slid further inside. That exposed their wings. And of course, both the balls that came from Messi were from that right hand side where he had more room to operate once the formation was tweaked around. So, um, yeah, I mean, you can frame it however you want. England may have pissed it away. They may have taken the wrong approach. Argentina, you could say that they just have this winner's mentality, DNA. No matter what minute it is, how many goals they're down, you're never going to rule them out, especially when you have Messi. So, yeah, I don't know. Great match. Better than yesterday's. And we'll see if Messi can go for number two.
Yeah, Ryan, you want to get some thoughts in on this?
I, well, I kind of struggle to have too many thoughts after
Mhm.
that. Tim said all the shit. Tim said all the right shit. Like
Mhm.
I really hate to be like this, but England kind of fucked it up. So like Tim, forget try to remind me what minute did they have like six defenders on? There was a time in the game where they literally had six defenders.
Yeah, towards the end at some point. I forget exactly when, but yeah.
And like when you do that, you're asking for it. And why the fuck are you going to ask for it against literally the greatest person to ever touch a soccer ball? Who can do it? He can score, he can assist, he does anything you want. Why the fuck would you ever just sit back and let him cook? Never once has it been a good idea to let Messi cook. Dumb, 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 dumb. I have never personally been a huge fan of Tuchel. Um, and I can't lie to you, I was a little bit annoyed when they scored the first one just because I didn't feel like they really did much in the game and honestly throughout the tournament have not looked very good, at least to me. They look organized and solid, but other than that, like nothing really special or nothing that you would be like, "Oh shit, they're coming." Um, so yeah, Argentina, fantastic. Um, Wonderful strike from Enzo. Bit of messy magic at the end with the right-footed crosses, as Tim said. But at the end of the day, I think this has more to do with England playing prevent defense and just letting Messi cook for like 30 minutes, 35 minutes at least. You can't let that man cook for 35 minutes. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
It felt like to me, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but like with the Mexico game where I remember who was the goal scorer for Mexico? Well, number 16, I forget his name. But
Quinones,
yeah.
Quinones,
When he
yeah.
came out and they brought in what's his name, Dan Burn,
Big
and
Dan.
they're like, we're gonna stop all these crosses, and it felt like they did kind of like that same strategy today. But the problem was you have Messi out there, and it's like not gonna work. Like it felt like that's what Tuchel like. He was like, this worked before, let's try it again. And
Yeah,
obviously, yeah.
like that might work against Mexico
Hmm.
because like pretty much their only header threat on that team is probably Jimenez. And I don't think he was on the pitch for the last I think they took him off at some point. And like they just don't have the same quality of balls going in as well. So like sure you can do that against Mexico. Sure. This is different gravy. You can't do that shit against Messi, man.
No.
And I even with the lineup before the game, no Saka out wide, Morgan Rogers out wide, who doesn't even really play in the wing like in the Prem. He plays more as a 10. And then just very strange setup to me overall. Yeah. That's it.
No, 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 no. Like, I mean, it was like, I don't know. You guys know the tactics better than I do, but like, you could feel, and I heard them say on the broadcast, like, it was after I think Argentina scored their first goal, and the broadcasters like, Argentina brought on nothing but attackers. England has nothing but defenders. Like, what are they going to do
That's
now?
and
Like,
that was the other huge
mm,
thing too. Because it's like, okay, Tuchel, if you do that and you take out all these guys, what happens when Argentina scores? And like we found out, they don't have an answer.
no, yeah, absolutely. We might, I don't, Tim, you still here?
Oh,
Okay,
there
yeah.
he is.
All right. But yeah, it was like, and plus even before they scored their first goal, there was like a constant barrage. I mean, like McAllister, I think, had that one off the post that I thought for sure was
Pickford
in.
had a Pickford had a crazy save too.
Yes. I forget who shot that. And there was another one off the post towards the end, I think, when it was 1-1. But yeah, just an insane, crazy barrage there at the end. Tim, you got what? I kind of like, what is the whole? I don't know the history of England like in World Cups here, but like, are they? I know that they choke often. Like, when was the last time that this happened for them?
So they haven't made a World Cup final since 1966, I'm pretty
Mm.
sure. They have been getting to a number of semis here recently. In the last Euros, did they make it to the final or the semis? Basically, I don't know the exact finishes in the last number of tournaments. So like it's between the semis or the quarters, but like they're always coming up short. And like the common wisdom is that like I mean everybody's heard the term it's coming
Mhm.
home, it hasn't came home in a long time, and so um I think
They've
that yeah, go
sorry,
ahead.
sorry, Tim. No, they were semifinalists this year. What were they in the 2022
Hmm.
Semis I believe as well.
semis?
Yeah,
Were runners up at 2024 Euros. Were
yeah, because
runners up on
that's the
pens in
penalties,
2020.
right?
Like
Mm-hmm.
they haven't won the World Cup since 1966.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They have the top academies in the world, the best teams in the world.
I mean,
They're
it's like, yeah, like when you think of soccer, most people probably either think of Brazil or England,
yeah, one of the
it's
two.
right.
And it's like America not winning an Olympic gold medal in like 30 years or something. It's, in basketball. In
Mm-hmm.
basketball, sorry, I forgot to add the sport on
No, no,
there.
we knew, yeah. They're like so. I feel like they're kind of like the Dallas Cowboys of soccer. They just sort of have a bunch of past glory.
That's actually a like really great uh comparison because
Mhm.
their fans are equally obnoxious and
Delusional.
Nice.
delusional.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Hmm.
And also,
Now,
go ahead,
yeah, go
Tim.
ahead.
No,
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 no.
go
You,
ahead.
you, 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 please.
Well, I also wanted to say that like it's once again it's like it's similar to like how yesterday's France-Spain game was the main conversation, which we'll get to, is like, was Spain really good or was France really bad? So, I mean, kind of a similar debate here. This, like this Argentina team is full of winners. I mean, granted, like a lot of this team is the same team from 4 years ago, so like they've done it like in this moment, in this space, but they. I heard a stat. They've scored 18 goals altogether. 11 of those goals have come in the 78th minute or beyond. So it's like
That is
well more
crazy.
than half in essentially the last 15 minutes of the game. So like you made an interesting point in one of our chats about like how they like have the Knicks energy right now.
Mm.
Like
They're the Knicks.
they're the
That's what
Knicks.
they
Like
do.
there there's some, things that are not so parallel, but
Messi's Brunson.
sure, Messi's Brunson in this case. But
McAllister is OG Anunoby.
it really, yes, 100%. It really is just a mentality thing. And like in big games like this, when you get to the semifinals of the World Cup, it's going to be only serious, very talented opposition that you're going to play with. Like there's talent in all 22 spots in the field. Like I really think that it's more of a mental game at that point, you know? And like even like going into the match, like Argentina was talking about like how they're going to wear their dark blue kits because those are the kits that like the hand of God goal that Maradona scored against England in the quarterfinals of '86. They were
Oh,
wearing that
nice.
jersey and like all kinds of stuff like that. It's just when you pair that mentality together with once again the greatest player who's ever played, not to mention also out of those 18 goals, 12 assisted or scored by Messi, two
It's so
thirds of them.
stupid. It's
Yeah.
so dumb.
39 years old, leading the Golden Boot race. Could win the Golden Boot and the Golden Ball, best player and most goals.
He probably
It's
will, right? I
he
mean, he,
probably, I mean, yeah, depending on, I mean, he'll probably win
Yeah. No,
yeah.
he's
yeah,
gonna.
no, yes. The only thing I was gonna say is that I'm annoyed that the third place match also counts towards Golden Boot
Oh, that
because I
is
wouldn't.
so,
Boo.
yeah.
Boo.
Yeah, exactly.
Nonsense.
So it
Mm.
would be bullshit if Messi ends up scoring like one or two in the final, and then Mbappe goes off for like four in the third
Hmm.
Yeah.
place match or some
Horrible.
stupid shit like that. But yeah, so it's just England did fuck it up. I do honestly, going back to the lineup, I kind of liked what Tuchel came out with, especially with the wing backs. Jed Spence he probably had one of the best games of his career when he came on as a sub in the last game. So I didn't mind that he got the starting role today. Even had like two like nasty mags in the beginning. I liked
Hands up.
Reece.
Hands up. I was like, why the fuck is Jed Spence starting? He played really good. He
He
was one of
had
their best
that,
players.
yeah, he had that insane slide tackle on like a
Hmm.
counter that Argentina had in the first half, and we were
On
just like,
Julian.
wow, this is yes, like wow, this is insane, you know. But yeah, I mean, it all just comes down to Messi magic, man. It's a privilege,
Yeah.
for him to be able
It's
to like watch this happening in front of us at this age of his, because like one of the things for me is that, at 29 years old, getting to like watch him be the GOAT for my entire upbringing, playing soccer, watching soccer. I feel like it took like me coming to a certain age to really grasp and appreciate what was going on. I think that was already like, well into his career, 8, 10 years into his career, and the fact that he just keeps extending it onwards and onwards and onwards, it's really cool to see.
No,
here's
I find he's like one of those guys like it's a like when he's not on the ball, like off the ball, I'm just watching Messi like during Argentina games because I just feel like he just like knows something that I mean obviously that we all don't. He's just like gonna be in the right spot. He's just like walking around there. Like on that last assist, I watched the whole time. He was just like alone over that space and just kind of like put his hand up a little bit and just got the ball and made an insane play. Like it's so cool to just watch him like work off the ball and just like kind of he seems out of it and then he's just making a play right out of nowhere.
Yes, and one thing I'm curious about, like you make a good point about how he was in that like four-fifths channel on that right
Mhm.
side, not hugged all the way up against the sideline, but like one-fifth more in where he can like actually operate within. I'm curious if after England went to that back five, if that's something that he himself just recognized. He was like, all right, they're clogging it up in the middle here. Should I just step out? Or if that was
yes.
a Scaloni decision, or it could be a little bit of both. You never know.
Mhm.
But it's just like somebody recognized it and it happened. So It's just like the games that are being played on a tactical level is like stuff that probably most of us don't even like understand, you know?
High, high, high level.
Yeah,
High
this is
level.
the best that it gets, like as we've talked a lot through these pods about the difference between club soccer and international soccer. At the end of the day, there is no grand prize bigger than the World Cup.
This is
So,
when it gets nasty and tactical, and
mhm.
when
To
you
that,
start ge-
no, sorry, finish your point.
when you start getting into these later rounds, like there is no competition ever their entire lives. They are going to try harder than
To,
these
to,
competitions.
to that point, the nasty point, the first 10 minutes of this match was insane. I mean, like, if ref didn't, I think referees did actually a great job in both of these semifinals.
Hmm.
Referee, if he didn't get a grasp on this early today, there was
Could
going
have
to be a red card or
could
like
have gotten
serious,
nasty.
serious injury. Like, thank God, Lisandro Martinez and Christian Romero both were on yellows, so they couldn't like come
Somehow,
free
some
kick
way.
somebody towards the end. But
They
yeah.
said before the hydration break how many fouls there had been. I want to say there was like 11 or something up until that point.
I think the final count was 15 fouls, Argentina fouls, and 11 fouls for England.
That
Like
yeah, that's insane.
one of those times where there's like more fouls than shots.
I love that.
Um, One thing I have real quick. Is Messi eligible for the Ballon d'Or?
FIFA has no rules.
I was gonna say because I thought it was only for European players,
Nah, Ballon d'Or
technically,
is everywhere, I think.
but
Yeah.
it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you
I mean, sure, why not?
do
I
the
mean, if he
thing? Do the
single-handedly wins
thing?
the World Cup with the
Does
team
it?
on his back,
Oh, it takes into
it's a
account World
shout.
Cup. It's not just like club
Yeah,
performance. It's
it's
just
It's
everything.
all of
everything,
soccer.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's usually people are judging on like the combination of club performance and
Mhm.
whatever happens with international competitions. But my guess is probably people who are voting on are going to be like because you're in the MLS and like you play like a third of the time. Probably not. I mean, real ones will give them the shout, but
Yeah, that would be
I I
sick.
I I don't know. I don't
because I
know
mean
how
we're in the era of like you don't immediately think of like two to three names off the top of your head who like
that's what I'm
instantly
saying.
would be in front of him.
And dude is just obviously better than everyone still. Like
Hmm.
obviously.
Hmm.
It's oh my
Thierry,
God.
Thierry Henry had a cool quote at like the end in the post game, talking about the preview for the final, and he said that like Lamine versus Messi, that like we have the future with Lamine, and then you have the past, the present, the future, and the forever with Messi, and that's just like always how it's gonna be.
That the pick of Messi washing him in the bathtub just gets
Oh
better
yeah,
every
yeah,
day.
every time, every
I'm
Every
time.
day.
looking now, and this is like not the best source because it's Kalshi and it's like Polymarket stuff. But Messi is like the current favorite for Ballon d'Or, and
Really?
Yamal and Harry Kane are the next two.
Because it's like nobody's really sticking out. And he's just been so crazy that it's like you might as fucking well.
Yeah.
Yeah, if either of
Here
those two guys have an insane performance, then it probably does tip the scale in their direction.
yeah. Here's my last thing, and then we can kind of move on. I heard something really interesting from the commentators, and I kind of wanted to hear your all's feelings about it. They were talking about how Argentina people have been saying that they've been playing bad. And like, am I am I off in that I feel like they have been executing their game plan perfectly. Like what does that team want to do? They want to muck it the fuck up and they want to give the ball to Leo.
Yeah, I feel like there could be like maybe an over-reliance on that talent being able to, because I think the two blemishes are the Cape Verde game and the Egypt game, like letting those games go like far beyond what
I
people
think
on paper thought they should have been.
Egypt honestly was not great. I think that Cape Verde team gives a lot of teams trouble on that night.
Well, didn't they
They
draw
were
Spain as well?
And they
Aren't
drew Spain,
they
yeah.
yeah,
were they were sensational against Argentina.
Hmm. But I think that this is where the main critiques come from, is that like we're expecting them to perform like I guess how people perceived France to perform in the early
But
parts of the tournament, where they were like really leaving a mark on the game, you know. Because I mean, like every takeaway from Argentina games was Messi, 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 Messi. You know, it wasn't really like great team performances or anything like that. He made it all tick, which I think is probably where most of the negativity is surrounded by. But they get it done. Once again, it just goes back to this DNA, this winner's mentality, you know.
they are the only team in the tournament, maybe other than Spain, that has a collective identity and every single person on the fucking team is bought into that identity. Our identity as Argentina is we are gonna get stuck the fuck in and try to get the ball to Leo and like, maybe do some shit on our own if we can.
hmm It's like blending that like ferocity that like South American like footy is known for together
That
with like this.
that how you say mm, don't want to say it on the pod.
Yeah.
But yeah, you blend that together with a little bit of magic, and this is what you get to World Cup Finals
I mean,
appearances back to back.
it's like the Knicks and Spurs. Like it's winning is a skill, man. Like they're like, let's get in these tight. We're not going to be scared if we're down a goal in the 78th minute. Our talent's going to rise up. Like we're built for this moment. And like,
None of those guys look scared for 1 minute.
no, no, they look kind of more calm when it happens. Like they're
Yeah,
like,
they
this
were
is,
kind of like, all right, well,
yeah,
I guess we got to score now.
it's nut cutting time, and they're just like ready to go. Like this what they're built for. Like
Live
it's
with it.
that's the whole Knicks comparison I got. It's just like. They want to be like if it's anywhere like if they're down at the end, they're like we're gonna come back and win. We know that it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
We're not daunted
we've
by
done
it. So
it too many times. Like
yeah,
we
it's
can
like
do this,
we've never not done it. Like we haven't lost. Like what are we? Like, we're good.
especially when the other team is scared of you. The
Yeah,
other team
exactly.
is scared.
Or
England was scared.
like Cape Verde, they're just like astonished to be there with Messi. Like I saw a thing where all their like Instagram posts after that game were just their own players with Messi like in the
With Messi,
background.
yeah.
Like every player posted just them beside Messi. It's awesome. Also, Cape Verde might have been the third best team in the tournament. Now that I'm thinking about it as
They
well,
were great. They were really good.
they almost beat Argentina and they tied Spain. I mean, shit. Power ranking for next World Cup.
Give him a shout.
Yeah. All right, we're about to we'll just start. We'll talk about France and Spain here. Whoever wants to start off here with some thoughts. I mean, that was kind of a wild result, I thought.
I'll start us off. So my kind of like my takeaway after seeing both of these games is that like once again going back to like how close the talent level is on all these teams. This was actually the first time where the top four ranked teams in the world at the time of the World Cup made it to the final. So that was cool. But with how close everything was, it was so marginal that the margins is what was the difference in both games. Talking about the Argentina game, the margin was on the high end of the spectrum where Messi is just he's on this different level. And so he like as we've been saying, the plan was to get him the ball, make shit happen. He made shit happen twice. Even if the first assist wasn't crazy, he gave Enzo the ball in a spot where he had plenty of time to take a
Mm.
shot. You know, he knew what he was doing. So the margins on the high end is what did it for Argentina. For the France-Spain game, when you looked at the starting lineups of both squads, there's one person, maybe a second one you could bring up, who we'll bring up, but there's one person on the team sheet who was a little bit less talented than everybody else, marginally on the lower end, and that was Luca Digne. And Luca Digne's mistake to give up the penalty is what totally was the nail in the coffin for them because being able to for Spain to be able to not even controlling the game that like it's not like they were attacking. They were able to get a pretty just out of nowhere pen, and then that played into their game plan of maximum control, which is what they want. You know, they just want to be able to bore teams through it. They're not like the death of a thousand passes teams like we've seen in the past with Spain, but all it took was just one moment for Luca Digne to be spatially unaware that there was somebody coming behind him as he goes to clear that ball. Just absolutely kicks the shit out of, was it Lamine who got fouled? His
Yeah.
thigh.
Hmm.
He came
And
in like a
so
flash.
Yeah, came in like a flash, and like I was saying to Ryan yesterday, as like I've played a good amount of defense in footy, like I would totally be prone to make a mistake like that too, It's just like, but as we were saying, if you have somebody like Mark Cucurella in that left back spot, that probably doesn't happen. I don't know why, I don't know how, but he probably doesn't perform that same action because
I
those are
thought
the
that guy
levels.
was amazing. It felt like he like blocked every shot.
Cucurella, oh my
Yeah.
God. He like how we talk about just like what's the word to put on it? Just like somebody who just like starts shit and stirs the pot, like your Jose Alvarado
Shithouser.
types, a
Yes.
shithouser, yeah.
Yeah.
Cucurella is like number one draft pick team
Mm.
shithousery. Like that is somebody who you hate to play against,
He's
love
first
having him
team
on
all
your
shit
team.
house.
Dylan Brooks.
I fucking
Dylan
hate
Brooks,
him as a player.
100%.
I hate
Yeah.
him so much.
I've come around to him because of his shithousery. I used to hate him as well, but there's some respect to be given for it.
If he played for Arsenal, he'd be my favorite player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. Exactly,
You got to
exactly.
have guys like that in any sport.
But yeah, so that like that small mistake is what ended up um facilitating the space for Spain to execute exactly what they wanted to. And that's once again be able to control the game from the midfield to such a good extent that they didn't even have to have their defensive line be the ones taking down this French attack. I mean, like there were times in the game Mbappe Elise was bad, but Mbappe, Elise, Dembele, just completely inconspicuous in the game. So shouts out to Rodri in midfield, shouts out to Fabian Ruiz, just insane performances from them. I want to give a shout out to Pau Kubarsi too. Everybody talks about like it's insane that Lamine is so young doing what he does. Pau Kubarsi is also 19 as well. Lamine just turned 19 like 2 days ago. Pau Kubarsi also 19 years old and has been one of the best center backs in this entire tournament. I saw a stat that he has the most successful passes into the opposition's half out of all players in the tournament. Like it's just very solid all around. And yeah, it's a question of whether was Spain really that good? Was France that bad? I think it's a combo. I think I would rate it at like 75% Spain was unbelievable. 25% France just didn't have that fire under them, but just super impressive performance from Spain overall. Is my main take.
Spain beat France in like the last Euros, right? Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, so in their
Yeah.
last two major tournaments
Mm.
that they played, now UEFA Nations League not so major, but in the Euros in the last UEFA Nations League semis in both of those tournaments, and Spain beat them both times. So going into the game, Spain was like, "We're not afraid of this. Like
No,
we've
that's
seen we've
well, I was
seen
gonna
this and
ask
done
like,
this."
what do you like, Ryan? What do you think? Is there a matchup thing here for Spain? Like, do they just match up well with France, or is it just like I don't know? What do you think led to this result?
I feel like number one, France got outcoached severely, severely, severely. France is also good enough that they can get outcoached and beat somebody's ass. So I don't know if it's necessarily one matchup or like one thing. I do agree with Tim that having a Luca Digne, although Digne is a decent player,
Still a great player. Still a great player. Totally.
probably not on the same level as like a Cucurella or um, I'm failing to think of any other
Nuno
outside
Mendes
backs.
or something
Yeah,
like
Nuno
that.
Mensch, there you go. Um, but when you get to this level and these later stages and you're playing these teams, everything is so fucking marginal. And literally the difference in a game like that can just be that Spain probably played their best game of the tournament. Like the midfield was absolutely firing. Rodri was just directing everything. The second defender, the second defender coming over and helping, the help defense was unbelievable. They were really, really organized, and Lamine had a young kid fast as fuck moment and got a pen for him. And France played their worst game of the tournament in that game. And that's the difference.
Yeah, shit, it is. I guess it comes down to that simple. I mean, I think it is a great point you guys both
Like
make about the margins. Like when you both teams are that good, if there's one tiny little deficiency, like that's going to lead to what happened we saw there.
Yeah, like I hate to simplify it or
Mhm.
just be like, well, it's just Spain's day, but like kind of when you get to that level and when you're in these tournaments and playing in games like that, a lot of times it really just does come down to that. Like, is it your day?
Yeah. What? So, Tim, you mentioned about Elise being bad. Like, what happened with the front line? Because it felt like Mbappe, Dembele, Elise, they what really didn't make hardly any noise at all throughout the game.
Yeah, and I think that's more of a testament to Spain's defensive shape more than like a lack of threat from these French attacking players. They just simply weren't given the ball in a lot of spaces to operate and be able to beat a man into space and then whip a ball in, or even like Mbappe didn't like shots from deep were not available for him. So I think it was just, I mean, once again with what Ryan is saying, I think it was just like a tactical masterclass, honestly.
Yeah,
Um,
like I completely agree with Tim that it's like 75% Spain, 25% France. But I can't lie. I know Deschamps is not considered like the greatest coach in the world, but the lack of change from France after giving up that pen and like everybody in the world knows as soon as Spain scores that, they're gonna sit the fuck back and lock the fuck in. And like so you're gonna have to break them down or do something different. Like you're not going to get a goal off the counter. That's not in the cards anymore. We have to do something differently now. Their lack of ability to change it up and do something differently and move people around or move into different spaces or whatever, it was really, really poor and really tough to watch, honestly.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break here. We're running out of time, but we'll come back and we'll preview the final. So we'll be right back. All right, we're back here. We got a Spain Argentina final. How do you guys feel about that final? Like before the tournament, I said that would be the final. Would you be like, yeah, yeah, that'd be sick, or no?
yeah, I think so. I think most people were choosing, I mean, between Spain, Argentina, and France, I think most people probably picked one of those three to win. So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a great game. One thing that's just like cool about Spain too is so Luis de la Fuente, he kind of came in to the role of like their first team manager without many people knowing much about him. He took over in 2022. So his come up was all with the Spanish youth teams. So for from 2013 to 2018, he coached the Spanish U19 team. Then from 2018 to 2022, he coached the U21 team. And in 2021, for a year before he got the job with the main national team, he coached the U23 team for a year. So there's a number of players in this squad who Luis de la Fuente has worked with for like 10, 12 years. And so going back to what Ryan was saying about Argentina, how they just have this collective mentality, like they'll die for that crest, they'll die for Messi. Like some of those same things I think exist on the Spanish side, but in a less like aggressive fashion, you know? Like I do think that they have like a very tight-knit camaraderie going on within that unit. And I think that that's why they keep I think that's one of the things that's really propping up this like kind of insane run that the Spanish national team is on. You know, everybody thinks about like 2012 Spanish national team, one of the best teams I've ever seen. But this team quietly, like, and that's the thing, quietly for the last couple of years has been unbelievable. And I think that a lot of that should be a testament to Luis de la Fuente and these bonds that he's been able to foster and maintain with all these dudes for like a long time. So I think that like these two collectives are probably the two collectives that do deserve to be in the final. And going back to like, especially in these later rounds, how technically and tactically speaking, like the margins are so fine. Like, I think that these games is where it comes down to the mental side of things, you know? So I think it's meant to be almost.
I think you make a great point because wasn't I think Morocco's manager is the same way where he used to manage their like U whatever team and kind of just kept stuck with them and they've had like a rise. That does feel. I wonder if more like international teams will start to do that. Like if you have like a good like development system, if you just let that manager rise up with the guys.
The problem is that in international managerial soccer is that patience is like not like people are not patient in terms of like waiting to see results. That's one thing about like the Spanish youth system is that they like one of their tenets is to keep coaches implemented for a while so that their tactics can actually be learned and then executed. So like this could be it's one of those, this could relate back to the conversation is the US ever going to be really good at soccer? It's like these are the small like details that people don't really think about in terms of being able to create a culture that leads to having a team like this.
No, no, yeah. I think that's yeah. So, I mean, it is also like that made me think of like college football and like building a program. Like have like we let Neil Brown stick around for 6 years, and that was kind of a disaster because like around year three, you could be like, okay, we're not going anywhere. But like I don't know, it's I guess it's like a fine balancing act here to like
It's tough. Yeah, if
yeah.
if if the dude's in charge is putting up awful results and like you lose the locker room and the fan base, there's like it's hard.
Yeah, totally. All right, Ryan, your thoughts on this final? Like, what? I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like some kind of hot buzz, like hot take question to ask here, but I think it's just going to be a good ass game. So, like, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I I will say I don't know how fun it's going to be it's going to be to watch for like the casual fan for at least the first 60 to 70 minutes. Um, both teams do not want an open game. They do not want an open game. So it's going to be everything's going to be extremely tight, extremely aggressive. This game could actually get really, really aggro, which I am such a fan of. Like get more aggro out there. Um, but yeah, I mean, once the 70th minute hits or so, and people start getting a little bit tired, and people start getting a little bit more nervous and more tense, it's going to turn into fireworks because it always does.
Well, especially the last like four Argentina games have been absolutely insane. Like the
Oh,
last,
and
yeah.
yeah, and with this team, like I don't know if I've ever seen a team more guaranteed to like have an insane last half hour to 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, I was already looking at like some like DraftKings lines here, and like I want to bet Argentina money line, but there's no way I'm gonna do that before like the 70th minute. Like, let me
I
get
would
like, go ahead.
I would honestly like Argentina in extra time or pens.
Okay,
That
I
would
like
be
that.
like Ryan's pick of the week.
Nice. We'll get some imaging here. I'll have to make like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
right.
I need a little graphic
Yeah,
above me.
that'd be
Ryan's lock
sick.
of the week.
Yep. Timmy's tokens. He'll have like some sort of player prop for us.
Sponsored by Tim Tokens.
Yeah.
And the token
Sponsored by
font.
Tim Coin.
Yeah. Tim coins are raining down on your screen. There was a bet. It was like Argentina to trail and still win in regulation, which they've done like the last two matches. I think it was like plus
That's
1500,
a great shout
which would
also,
just be
honestly.
fun. Yeah,
What was it? Plus 1500, you said?
yeah. Which I feel like that should maybe be a little higher, but you got to
Fucking
buy.
easy money.
Yeah,
Easy money.
yeah. What are you looking for in terms of like matchups here? Like any like Argentina midfield versus Spanish center backs? What like give me something.
Mm, um, I mean, probably that Lamine versus Cucurella, or I'm sorry, the
Tagliafico.
yeah, the Tagliafico matchup, because I think that like
That's gonna get real nasty.
yeah, I think that is where Argentina could get exposed if they are going to get exposed. But I mean, like with how good this Argentine defense has been with these two center backs, like I don't know, it's tough to say. I overall like matchups, non-matchups. I think once again it's just going to come down to the margins, and the one player who's exceptional beyond the margins is Leo, and so I wouldn't be surprised if somehow, some way, he squeaks something through, whether it's an insane dicing pass or just like a daisy cutter finish or something like that.
I was gonna say I'm interested to see what Spain does in terms of defense on Leo. Like, do you have Rodri just like following him for 90 minutes and like man marking him basically? Do you go for like youth and athleticism, and do you send like your kind of younger midfielders on him? Do you just kind of like say fuck it with the midfield and just let Kubarsi or like um I don't know. Who's their left back? I can't.
Cucurella or Laporte,
Yeah,
one of those other
let
two.
Cucurella or Laporte kind of like take charge of holding him. Like, what do you do?
Mhm.
There's a lot of like very small tactical battles like that that I'm interested in. The midfield, Spain's midfield will probably overpower Argentina's to a certain extent. Um, does Lamine have the stuff, and does Spain have the stuff as a whole to get through that like Argentinian brick wall?
To that point, I think it'll especially be interesting to see if Spain rolls out Fabian Ruiz or Pedri. So Pedri was the one who was starting pretty much all tournament up until 2 games ago, whenever Fabian Ruiz was slid into the midfield for him, and that was to kind of bring a bigger presence and somebody more powerful into the midfield to negate the French midfield in the last game. So that's going to be kind of like a tell tactically what De La Fuente is going with when we see whether he goes with Ruiz or Pedri.
All right. I mean, anything else you guys want to add about this game? Like, what are your predictions? What if you had to give a score prediction? I'm going 2-1 Argentina. I think it'll be 1-0 Spain, about 78 minutes. Messi
I think it's
assist to
two.
tie, Messi rocket to win.
Oh my God. The scenes, the
Yeah,
absolute
I'll
scenes.
lose my mind.
like a free kick or something.
I think it's 2-1 either way,
Okay.
honestly. But like gun to my head, probably Argentina, just because if they have a weird black magic. They have a do you remember Tim, do you remember when Zizou was coaching at Madrid and it just felt like they had some sort of strange like powers in the
Black Magic.
Champions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
That's
sure.
kind of what it feels like with this Argentina team. They have some sort of weird substance and it
Yeah.
just they just wash over the game.
That's been the theme for sports, I feel like this whole summer. Like the Knicks, like as a Spurs fan, I was trying to fight against
Just
it, but you just knew. Like it was
weird
yeah.
juju,
Yeah.
energy, vibrations,
Hmm.
something in the atmosphere.
Just feels
They've been
inevitable.
chosen. They've
Yeah.
been chosen.
Yeah. Tim, your score prediction?
Uh, I could see a 1 goal margin either way. I could see 1-0 either way, 2-1 either way. Just for a little diversity, I'll say 3-2 Argentina.
Wow, okay.
God, what a game that would be.
That'd be awesome.
Oh,
Please,
I would please,
please.
please.
If it comes down to pins, who do you think has the advantage? Because isn't Argentina's keeper like great at pins? Or maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
He
Yeah, no, I mean, it's good at pens for
Mm.
sure.
he
It's
we were
crap.
talking about first team shithouser.
Mm.
Emmy Martinez is a
Is
Hall of
captain is
Fame.
captain of the squad. Yeah.
Hall of Fame. He's not even on this. He's retired from the squad. He's Hall of
It's
Fame.
just named after him.
It's
It's
yeah, it's the
yeah.
Emmy Martinez
11.
all
Yep.
shit house
You guys should workshop
XI.
that, right? Like make your 11 right now of this all the Emmy Martinez shithouse team.
Oh God.
Shithouse team. Give us a
Yeah.
little bit of time. We'll come back
I
with
was
Okay.
gonna say
a
I
Yeah.
could
proper one.
like give me more than like the rest of the time we have on this pod. I
Yeah.
totally could though. That would be a good pod.
Roy
Yeah.
Keane, co-captain. I'll call it
Yes.
there. All
Wait,
right. Well,
I missed
Luke.
that. Who did you say?
Oh, Roy Keane.
Oh,
Roy
okay.
Keane.
Nice. What were you
Luke.
about to ask?
Yeah, one question for you, just like
Mhm.
overall. I mean, we'll talk about it more after the final, but like up in here until like, do you feel like the tournament has delivered?
Oh, absolutely. I was kind of thinking that, like the quarterfinals were maybe a little bit disappointing compared to like the rest of the tournament, but like I don't know. And the France Spain game was kind of like a letdown, I thought, but today's game was so insane that it really made up for it. And
The
it just
funny
like
thing, go ahead.
no,
Sorry.
you go ahead, you go ahead.
The funny thing too was is that the game was it was very dry until England scored. I can't lie to you. I was like slightly disappointed when England scored because I was just like, ugh. That didn't feel good. Like that it didn't feel like a good goal. England just like hasn't really played that great this tournament. I feel like it would be strange if they made the final, honestly.
It would have the England Spain final. It felt like that was gonna happen, and it just felt wrong. Like it just was like weird. It didn't make sense.
Again, the opposite of the Argentina juju black
Hmm.
magic. Like icky vibes.
Yeah, because I don't. Was anyone who's not from England rooting for them against like Mexico or Norway?
No,
Like, yeah, like
the entire
yeah,
world was rooting for Mexico in that
yeah.
game.
Except Marsh was for England for some reason, just because he has to be against everyone all the time.
No comment.
Yeah, fucking Marsh. I hope he listens to this someday. But yeah, Tim, I don't know. I always what round would do you think was the most fun? Like I always love the group stage of the World Cup. I feel like that's always the best. And this one was
Um,
crazy.
Probably have to go back and like look over some of the results, but I'd probably say maybe the round of 32.
That was really good too.
Because the round of, or I'm sorry, the round of 16 is what I meant to say. Because the round of 32 still had like some of those like bottom dwellers who made it in from like the third in their group who probably like don't belong. And then you start getting some proper matches in the round of 16 where you have some of these teams who are lesser known actually make a come up, actually put really good performances in where people start gaining their respect. And then like it was always so I think we mentioned in one of the pods, it was always so fun watching like a lesser talented team like hold on to a lead against a better team at the end of the game, you know. It's just like squeaky bum time, you know.
Hmm.
So
Whiskey bum time.
probably would have to say round of 16 for now, but I would want to go back and look at the results.
I've pulled up like all the matches across the World Cup, and I would honestly say either the group stage, just because it was so wide the fuck open, and the round of 16. Like just looking at the games on round of 16, you had Norway over Brazil, which was insane.
Hmm.
You had England with the red winning against Mexico in the Azteca. Jude with
Probably game of the tournament.
Yeah.
yeah, Jude with like a like all-time performance. Sadly, Belgium smoking USA.
Hmm.
Um,
Not a good game.
Switzerland on pens. Argentina 3-2 over Egypt.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Spain with a masterclass over Portugal held them to just didn't give them anything. And France winning 1-0 against maybe the worst refereed game I've ever seen.
The Paraguay match.
Oh,
Yeah,
when they were
Yeah,
just
yeah.
attacking, like just
it
hurting them.
was it was disgusting. It
Yeah.
was gross.
Hmm. It's like 100 degrees in Philly. Like that'd be the worst environment for a game
It's
ever.
100 degrees in Philly, and you just have a Paraguayan dude just stepping on your ankle
Yeah.
every 3 seconds.
That one really made me think like, all right, France is built for this. Like I don't know, like they were like, we're gonna beat anybody no matter how they
Like
play
being able
us.
to win in different ways.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
then they just did not happen.
This is my thing. This is the thing every time with France. Like,
Yeah.
what team is gonna show up on that day? You just like don't. They're always so erratic, and you just never know. They can beat anyone on any day ever. They can also lose to a lot of people.
Yeah. Trying to think of a comp of who that would be, but I don't have it right now.
On that note,
Mm.
I am scared shitless of France for the next 12 years. Now Zidane is taking over, and
Terrified,
he's kind of
terrified.
he's been waiting in the background for the last like
He's
3 years, not
he's been
doing anything,
scheming,
just scheming.
concocting.
A lot of this team is young. I mean, like even Mbappe, like he's only going to be 31 next World
They're
Cup,
gonna
you
they're
know,
gonna they're gonna
like.
look at Zizou and be like, oh my, it's God.
Because the problem with Deschamps for the last 12 years is people who traditionally have always kind of like marked him on like taking too safe of an approach and playing like a very defensive style of footy. Zizou's not like that. Like he's gonna help exploit these offensive threats and like all of these attacking patterns of play. And it's yeah, I like very early betting favorite. I would go ahead and put money on France to win the next two World Cups.
Just to like give you some slight background, like, so do you know who Zidane is?
Yeah.
Okay, word. So
Mm-hmm.
for people at home, Zidane, one of the greatest soccer players of all time. Um, when he was coach at Madrid, he was one of the only coaches ever. Like it was like him and Alex Ferguson basically who could get Cristiano Ronaldo to like lock the fuck in and like listen to what he's saying and stick with a game plan. Like Zizou is a person that even the greats look up to and are like he's the man. So in a team like France, who is so prone to these like very strange changes in vibes and behaviors, like he could be the thing that, like Tim said, for like 12 fucking years could just make them the best team in the world. I'm so unbelievably frightened of them with Zizou as their coach.
I'm
Because
looking
there's
out
like
for I'm looking
I
for a book that has 2034 World Cup odds on it. I don't know if that's gonna be around, but go ahead.
I think that there's like often in footy, there's like two main like classes of coaches. You have your tactical masterminds, and then you have former players who garner the respect of whoever they're coaching.
Man managers.
Man managers, when you fuse the two of those together, that's when you get the cream of the crop. That's when you get your Pep Guardiolas. Zizou, he not only demands the respect of every single French player, like Thierry said, past, present, future, forever. Like he is one of the few players that it doesn't matter how big your ego is, that is still somebody you like. It's you objectively have to respect. And I think that's especially important in the context of this French locker room, where, as we've talked about before, many oftentimes it's France who is France's biggest like enemy, and like with internal stuff going on within the locker room,
Or just
really
not vibe. It just
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 not
vibes are
vibing.
off.
Yeah, exactly. And so like this is somebody who you couldn't, come up with in a lab better than Zizou to take this over. So
It is interesting because you don't really see like I'm trying to think of like in basketball. I think Larry Bird coached the Pacers for a little bit and wasn't really that great. Like it's rare to see one of the greatest players to be like an actually great coach. I guess maybe it happens more in soccer than in other sports, but
That's
you
why
would think,
Zizou's the best.
yeah, it's guys like Dan Campbell in the NFL who was like a average tight end, but it's just like the players just love him as a coach. But I,
just knows X's and O's and
yeah,
is like a locker room guy. Exactly.
It's
like
like that a lot in soccer too,
mhm.
honestly. Like Jurgen
Yeah.
Klopp. Jurgen Klopp was, I think, a second or third division Bundesliga player, and he's like, amazing, amazing head coach. Arsene Wenger, same thing. Like
Hmm.
I think he played in like second or third division in France.
Yeah, there's really no rhyme or reason to who's going to be a good coach. It is kind of just like a crapshoot, I guess.
It's because it's so much of it is emotional intelligence,
Yeah,
and
true.
it's
Totally.
really difficult to like gauge that in people.
Yeah,
For
and
sure.
especially if you're like someone who's like so good at a sport, it's like you're usually just kind of naturally gifted. So it's tough to like explain like how's Larry Bird going to tell you like just make jumpers like I did or shit like that.
Yeah.
Like
It's like,
Hmm.
dude, we'll just
yeah,
score 34.
yeah,
Larry, I can't.
yeah, yeah. Like, Coach Larry, I can't do it. All right, boys, you guys, any final thoughts on this World Cup as a whole or this match or anything?
Messi's the best.
Yep.
All hail the great one.
Yep.
We'll
Messi's the
be
goat.
back here to
That's
talk
it.
about Argentina's back-to-back championship, I guess.
Yeah.
And Messi being the GOAT. Is he going to be? I don't see why he wouldn't play in 2030.
Why not?
I mean, he's
I,
killing it.
I I think he said this would be his last, I think.
Yeah.
But I, if he's still scoring like 30 goals a season in the MLS, I don't see why not.
Shit. How old's
Especially,
Ronaldo? 41?
yeah.
And he was like, you could see he was done, but Messi's like still amazing. I don't know why he wouldn't.
Especially if he was okay with like coming off the bench
Oh,
and you just like put him in the 70th minute and you just let him do the thing.
yeah.
And either outcome for this final can like start the narrative for his next journey. And it's like, oh, he missed out on this one. He's got to get revenge. Oh, he won two in a row. Let's make it three in a row.
Three in a
Yeah.
row.
Yeah,
Yep.
Three
they're
in a row.
both of them could just be spun to like play again. I don't,
Hmm.
yeah, you could also say he wins this, he's gonna go out a back-to-back champ or
Which
uh,
he totally could have last
yeah.
time, and everybody would have been like,
Which
You
which
got
of
it.
the two outcomes do you think it's more likely that he plays next World Cup? If he wins this one or loses this one?
Loses. I think
Loses,
loses.
right?
Ooh,
Yeah. But I don't really know because
I don't know.
they don't know a lot about Messi. Like he doesn't talk a lot, right? Like isn't that his mystique? So like
There's a lot
who
of
knows
mystique
what he
around
really
him.
thinks? Like I don't know. Would he I'm sure he's super competitive. He's the greatest soccer player like of all time, but
Yeah,
like
you could see the way he celebrated even after today's
yeah.
win. Like,
No,
it means so much.
people mistake because he is like more of a kind of like quiet,
Mm.
down guy that he is like not ultra competitive. Like,
Yeah. That's
no,
just
like you don't get to that level without 100% being
I
fully
know.
on board with fucking what you're doing.
People say that about Jokic and horses. It's like, no, he is from Serbia and has become like one of the greatest players ever. Like he wants to work, he wants to play basketball. Like,
He just also like isn't he doesn't want to deal with the bullshit.
yeah.
And like there's a lot of bullshit that comes with
Mm,
being
The greatest of all
him.
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love the idea though of like coming back as a 43-year-old and just playing like being the super sub. Like I feel like he would be perfect. Like that would be amazing if they did
That
that.
would be the greatest thing of all time. Because
Yeah.
you know he would be chill with that too. He would be like, hell yeah, let those other dudes like run around and then I'll just come in for the last like 20 to 30 minutes and fucking do my thing.
Shit, man. Sign me up for that. Oh yeah. Hope we're still podding in 2030, boys.
Messi 2030, let's go.
Let's go. We'll end on
Messi the
that.
president.
Yes, he could. Well, I had a last one, him playing for the US in 2030. We figured that out.
So we'll co-opt him first, his
Yeah.
allegiance,
He's
and
still playing
then
for Miami. He's a US citizen.
yep, and
Trump's
then
selling pardons, ain't he? Or
oh
selling citizenship, ain't he?
oh
He's
yeah, the gold card. Oh, we just
Yeah,
have
we
to get
just
Messi
we
a
just
gold
give him one
card.
of the gold cards. It's
Wait.
Oh
fine.
I don't know
fuck!
anything
How did we
about
not
this.
think
What
of
is
this last
this?
time? Trump gold card, man.
You
We should have
just
thought of this before the World Cup. We fucked
Yeah.
up.
Oh my
you can just
goodness.
buy US citizenship now with the Trump Gold Card.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna look into this and send one to Leo.
Okay. All right. We should get in touch with him. I'll DM him on Instagram.
All right, perfect.
Ring him. Ring him up.
I'm gonna call him right now. All right. See you guys. That was fun.
See you
See
guys.
ya.
Thanks.